How are you guys doing? Welcome back. Today is Sunday, August 29th, episode 149 of the SWINGCAST. Let's get into it. If you are new, I do daily giveaways, and today's winner is Ola S. OLA space S. You won! Let's go. So I'm gonna comment on the old video that you won, but give me your Venmo or Cash App so I can send you the $10. Guess what? Let's do it again. So if you guys want a chance to win $10, like, comment, and then subscribe. Comment this. If I were to call this community of people, this group of folks, what's a good name for us? What's a good word? You know, like there's the Goblin Gang for those idiot traders over there at Alpha or whatever they are. You have Little Monsters for little Lady Gaga or whatever it is. You have like Bayritos for some people. They have like group names. If I was going to give our group, what would it be? I want to know opinions and ideas. If you just comment a stupid idea down below, a chance to win $10. If you are new here, welcome. We're going to talk about technical analysis. The class is coming soon, which will encompass everything, but I could easily talk about technical analysis online and over video pretty easily. We're going to talk about supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, and the vortex indicator. These 9 things build up my trading plan. When it comes to technical analysis, I apply this to mental analysis, risk versus reward, trading plans, goal setting, consistency, all these kinds of things which the class will cover for you. I don't want to take too much time, but again, if you enjoy this content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you are new, I suggest you watch the whole entire episode from start to finish, and if you really like it, consider subscribing. With that being said, 8 tickers today, right? 8 tickers, I'm good at math. And we're going to get these right now, episode 149. Let's get into it. So when it comes to technical analysis, the first thing we have is supports are white, resistances are orange. Our supporting trends are going to be a golden channel like this. Our resistance ones are going to be orange like this. These 2 white dotted lines is where volume happens, where 70% of volume happens. This is the POC. These are attached to volume profile. I'm not going to talk about volume profile in this video, but you can watch this one right here. Boom. And you get all the information you need. 15-20 minutes in, out, bing, bang, boom. You'll thank me later, get a brand new skill. Check it out for sure. AVNS is a gorgeous falling wedge here. How did I find the support? Well, it wasn't actually because of this right here, but actually on the 10-year chart, we can see historically, this area we're encroaching on is a very, very good pivot spot. Down to about 30.98 to about 32.15. So anywhere in this spot, from here, maybe one more pull down, is where a great support is. We have fantastic trend support, fantastic support here. Earnings overreaction, every single time it does this. There's a chance of consolidation, but 2 or 3% higher breaks us out, which gives me great hope. Possibly, we're looking more along the lines of this kind of trend. But again, the support's here, the value's here. A easy breakup, even getting back into where volume happens is 7%, risking 2 or 3. AVNS makes a whole lot of sense for the convergence down here. The POC is gravitational. It's a great setup. Let's check the indicators. What's really cool about this channel is I actually don't scan with indicators on. No VWAP, no RSI under 30, no EMA crossovers, none of that. All my picks are based off technical analysis and charting alone, and then I check out these after. The indicators will show you momentum, volume, volatility, and trend. That's it. These will either support or deter me from entering. You'll see me live, what I see, and I'll tell you. It's a great thing for beginners to check out. When it comes to a crossover, that 10 EMA crossover is happening right now. See, every time it crosses the 10, we have really good movement. Usually it has really good moves up. We're doing that right here. It's a fantastic sign of being at value. Will be a little bit lower, towards 32, 20, even 31 and some change. But this crossover is great. Use this candle as your stop loss area. This crosses over, we're good to go. Crosses the 50, it'll be in great, great shape for sure. RSI, it's still low. Stochastic is still low. It's not a divergence, right? Lower lows, that's fine. Lower lows and lower highs, it's just saying it's a good value. And then bulls are low. You want bulls a little bit lower, bears a little bit higher for your best value, but again, this is pretty good. AVNS has everything you want to see in a falling wedge. Maybe a better value, but the 10 EMA crossover, if Monday and tomorrow's a great day, hey, it could be a fantastic pickup. AVNS, definitely watchlist it. Next is CHD, Church and Dwight Com. This is a great, again, once, twice, maybe 3 times. I'm pointing that out because A good trend line has 3 hits. Any one of you idiots, any one of me idiots can draw a trend line from A to B. It's not hard. But A, B to C is a real trend line. The resistance has one here. This resistance trend line is very close to being a great one. 1, 2, cuts through, but again, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I don't love it. Again, maybe come over here and see that besides this breakout, this breakdown, we have 4. But 2 good ones. It's holding. The support's very obvious. This resistance is very obvious. Again, easily can make 4 or 5%, risking maybe 1 at most. That's a 4-to-1 play. If you get a breakout, could be even better. Easy horizontal play, easy wedge down play. I like it a lot right here. Let's check out these indicators. A 10 cross is possible for life. It does well when it does that, but again, if anything, it's improperly stacked, which means you have 200, 50, 10 EMAs, and then price. You want to have it the other way for a big run up, but again, this does show value. So we have a fantastic value down here. Looks really good. Also see how the 200 is going sideways. If the 200 and the 50 are going sideways, which they both kind of are, 50 is more down, but 200 is going sideways here, basically pointing directly horizontally, I'm putting more emphasis into the support play. The trend, which is what EMA shows you, if it's showing it going up, I would use a trend line. If it's going down, again, trend line, but horizontally, putting more emphasis into the support play, which is right here as well. If you didn't know that, subscribe. More treats on the way, for sure. Great spot to be. RSI, so stochastic you want a little bit lower, but I think this may lead to a 10 crossover, retest, and take off. Bulls very low, which is great. Bears very high, which is great. CHD looks really good. The only issue is breaking that 10. We got to get above the 10 EMA line. Once we do that, it should be off the races. If not, let it pull back a little bit farther, get an even better deal. Either way, watch list it. I like it a lot. Next is EVGO, EVGO Inc. This is a great falling wedge. I could probably go in like the 30-day and you can see it's tightening. Now again, we could see a breakout tomorrow of 4 or 5% like it did over here, and it may not be a true breakout. You may need to zoom in to really see it. I mean, the large trend looks good, but we may want to zoom out and maybe adjust just a little to be fair. It's probably more like this. But again, if we get a breakout here, it's going to be fantastic. How did I get the support area? Let's zoom back out. It's only been around for new IPO. So we can see this is a brand new spot to be at. Maybe we'll see $8. Maybe we'll pull back one more time. But right here, we're going for the breakout. If it breaks below 876, I'm getting out. Even if it breaks down maybe 2 or 3%, I'm going to get out. But this breakout could be fantastic. It does these kinds of things. See, like over here, it did a nice little horizontal wedge and then took off. I want to get that one more time. Great setup, great value. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicator. So the EMA lines are going to be kind of goofy because it is a newer IPO. But if you break over this 50, we just held over the 10. Great sign. You can put the stop loss meet the 10 for a short swing here, for a short-term swing. You cross over that 50, which is a problem. You break over that, should be off to the races. RSI, it's fair because it's showing life. Stochastic is fair. Bulls are eh. Bears are meh, again, because it's consolidating sideways. The last few days from this downtrend, it's moved 3% over, like, 14, 15 days here. It's consolidating, so that's fine. EVGO, you want it lower, or you really need some life. But overall, EVGO, I like what I see. I love that breakout potential. I definitely watch listed into this week. Next is LabD. Oh, but this is going to check bio farm. You got to do your I know you got to do your research, all right? This is just a great technical setup. You have to do the due diligence, obviously. But LabD and LabU, whatever. LabD, though, is right where you want it. I mean, this thing, it's going to be a ETF that, just obviously drops constantly. It's kind of what it does to stay where it's at. It deteriorates. But again, this is right where you want it. 1824. Anywhere even closer to 1785 is perfect. Let this come on down to us. Don't catch a fall on night. But again, it comes down to this area, which we're at. It always reverses. Can make 40 to 50% risking 2 or 3. It's an absolute no-brainer. Even if you have no idea what they do, what this is about, I would definitely check it out. Let's check out these indicators. So again, a crossover the 10's going to be our first sign to go long. They're kind of goofy because, again, it's dropping off a cliff. Obviously, that's what it does. So I wouldn't take too much emphasis into this, but crossover the 10 would be great. RSI's under 30, beautiful. Stochastic under 40 is where you want it, but bulls low, bears high. It basically checks every single box besides the due diligence and what it actually stands for. Go do your research on LabU and LabD, but right here, absolutely no-brainer. At least take a 4 or 5% risk to make 30 or 40. I mean, that's dumb money. I would definitely go for it. PII is a very simple support play. Sure, possibly we're seeing, you know, a kind of a descending triangle. I wouldn't put too much emphasis into that, like maybe like this. But at the same time, this support area is super strong. Once, twice, 3 times, showing some life here. You know, your dividends usually drop stock price for a few days, so maybe wait until the dividend comes, tanks it maybe to like 11.15 or like 115 here and get out or get in and go for it. But like at 122, you know, we're going to 15%, risking what, 2 or 3. Obvious play for a great support play. I'm not going to get too much into this. It's an obvious looking support play for a consolidation play. With the indicators, we want to cross over the 10. That'll be our first go signal. And again, with the dividend coming, I'd probably wait. But you could easily get properly crossed here and properly stacked in a few days, maybe a few weeks if it shows some good life, which is fantastic. But it's an obvious value here. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. If it lives here, it's an obvious bullish divergence. If it does survive here, fantastic. Bulls low, bears high. I mean, if we're going to weigh opportunity cost, I think there's better picks out there. But I think if you're a beginner who's really learning how to trade, this is a great way to practice supports, resistances, having a price target, having a stop loss, and executing, which is way more important than anything else, honestly, for a beginner. So PII, great beginner stock. If I was a veteran, it's okay. Otherwise, I would definitely watch this, dude. PRPH, Prophase Labs Inc. What a great uptrend. Once, twice, again. Only 3. I want to have 3 solidified, but look, it comes down harsh. Ooh, cup handle, reverse. Oh, it comes down hard. Ooh, cup handle, reverse. Oh, it comes down. Nice little bowl shape. These are all very slow reversals. We're seeing that again here. That's gorgeous. Earnings. It comes down, came back. Earnings. It came down and came back. Earnings. Hopefully it comes back. If it comes back 40%, Pop will be happy. Easy trend up. Easy support play here. Maybe it gets down to like 479, and so easy support play there too. But right here, it reverses by making bulls. We're down here again. It looks really good to me. I like what I see a lot. Let's check the indicator. This is what's also beautiful. The 50 and 200 again are going sideways, so I'm going to put more emphasis into the support play, which is here. Great. If we cross that 10, our first stop to keep going, that 10 crosses at 50, that 50 crosses at 200, we're off to the races. We'll have one of these bad boys right here. Huge potential here. RSI, it's still low, especially for where it's at. It's not bad. Stochastic is low. Like it, bulls and bears are fighting. Again, if the bulls cross over, we have to see life. If we have bulls do this, I have to see this. I got to see the exact same thing. If not, I'm going to get a little bit nervous. It's okay, though. PRPH being a cheaper stock that really fell to where we want it, I like it a lot. I would definitely watch list it. Let's see what it does. If you're a beginner, I'd stray away. But again, it looks pretty good here. Let's check the next one. Next is STXS, Stereotaxis Inc. Hooked on Phonics, sponsor me for the love of God. STXS is a gorgeous support play. Old resistance became a support. I want to see if I can zoom out and see anything. Oh, look at that. It's been going up for a long period of time. Look at that. Ooh. Look at that. This old resistance is now acting as a support over here. This is an old resistance too. Maybe it gets down to 571, worst case Ontario, which would be right over here. But I mean, this is a great support play. Again, what are you risking? It breaks down, 3% you get out. It makes it move to the POC. It's 16%. That's 5 to 1 to just make a small move. And this thing gets very volatile, right? It takes its time down here, which has been 15 days. Over here, it's already been 16 days. Over here is about 15. So we're getting there. This is where we want to see it make some move, make some action. Very low risk, very high reward. I like that a lot. Let's check out these indicators. So if we can break over the 10, that would be great, because the 200 is going to be a real piece of shit to break over. It's going to be a real strong resistance. But crossing that 10 is our first sign of life. I want to see that. But again, obvious value. RSI, it's low. Beautiful. Stochastic, I wouldn't say any kind of divergence here, but it's very low, which is great. Bulls low, bears high. It checks every box. I mean, it's more volatile, so I guess for more of a veteran player, it makes a lot of sense. For a beginner, I'd be cautious unless you use like a 2 or 3% stop loss in my opinion. Otherwise, STXS, I like it for next week. I'd definitely watch list it. Last and not least, but probably the most risky, is USAS, which is at $1 exactly. This bad boy is going to either make or break your week if it does what I want it to do, so I'd be very cautious with this one. USAS, we zoom back out, we can see clearly it's gotten down here once before and it reversed quickly. If it goes down farther, it's going to be real cuss worded, so I wouldn't get overly excited to jump in. It's making a support though. It's making a floor here. All right, it's making us. That's not a good time frame. It's making us a floor. It's making us a nice trend line here. It's showing some life. That's a great sign. Now again, Easy to read wedge here. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a great support play, but I think you can get it lower, which would again break the support itself. If it got any lower, like the perfect value would be bad for its overall life. But if it breaks out, I mean, this thing could be absolutely insane. So I think it's a great potential growth stock. USAS makes a full move to the POC, almost 75%. But again, you got to risk like 5 or 6 at least here, which is a lot more than I like to usually risk for my kind of plays. Let's check out the EMA lines and the indicators. Breaking that 10 is a great sign, but again, breaking the 50 is a real go signal. It breaks at 50, we're good to go. If it ever gets above the 200, you're going to be in for a lovely, lovely play. But that's going to be months or years away if it ever does happen. RSI, it's fair. And again, if we do get an overbought sign, I won't be that upset because it's showing some life. Overbought, but again, not overly worried. Bulls low, bears high. The indicators can be kind of screwy with this kind of play because it's such a steep fall off and such a steep and consistent downtrend here that I'm not overly concerned with anything other than technicals. If it gets any lower here, I would be concerned though. But if it does cross at 50, gonna be good. There you guys have it. That's today's show. For Sunday, we'll have 4 more episodes this week. Again, if you enjoyed this content, if you are a new person who watched the whole episode, consider liking, subscribing, hit the bell notification. Again, comment, like, and subscribe for the chance to win $10. I already said today's winner, and you could be the next one for sure. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys' week. We'll see you guys tomorrow.